Well, they contacted us, but I didn't feel ready. There was something inside, and even the thought of it made me nervous.
Oh, sweet, gentle breeze,
The world of music is a deafening battlefield, a chaotic arena where artists must scream for attention and sacrifice their privacy for a fleeting moment of relevance. Amidst this relentless noise, one of the most significant vocalists of our generation emerged not with a shout, but in a shroud of near-perfect silence. Lucy Thomas, hailing from the quiet streets of Lancaster, England, initially rose to fame through the high-velocity machinery of viral internet algorithms. However, her approach was a radical departure from the norm. She consciously chose the path of the enigma. By maintaining a deliberate distance from the exhausting churn of social media spectacle and the hollow toxicity of celebrity gossip, she did not fade into the background. Instead, her calculated withdrawal only served to amplify the global fascination with her identity, turning her artistic journey into a mysterious and highly anticipated pilgrimage for fans who craved something deeper than a headline. That fortress of silence was brutally tested when the shadows of the internet attempted to tear it down. In a harrowing case of mistaken identity involving another individual with the same name, malicious rumors and dark speculations began to infect the digital space. These falsehoods posed a genuine threat to her reputation and mental well-being, leading many to believe that a public relations war was inevitable. Yet, in an act of profound restraint, her team at Cavendish Records launched a defense of pure sophistication. They chose zero aggression. Rather than descending into the mud of public debate, they allowed the undeniable purity of her music to act as the ultimate truth. This refusal to engage with the malice did not isolate her. Rather, it forged an almost spiritual bond with her that recognized her integrity. It proved that authentic artistry, delivered with quiet dignity, remains the most powerful antidote to the venomous nature of online misinformation. For most child stars, the bridge between early fame and adult relevance is a treacherous minefield littered with the remains of burned-out careers and failed transitions. Lucy Thomas, however, navigated this perilous crossing with an extraordinary level of foresight and artistic discipline. From the tender age of 14, she possessed the rare wisdom to bypass the shallow allure of bubblegum pop and the hollow promise of instant radio hits. She understood that her gift required a more substantial foundation. By dedicating herself to a timeless and challenging classical repertoire, she embraced a path that demanded rigorous vocal maturity and an old soul sensibility. This commitment allowed her instrument to evolve with grace, shifting from the crystalline sweetness of her youth into something far more formidable. As she entered her 20s, the world witnessed the birth of a voice that was richer, darker, and infused with a resonant power that only comes from years of focused, uncompromising dedication. The definitive declaration of her artistic independence arrived with a thunderous impact in 2024 and 2025. This was the era when Lucy stepped out of the recording booth and into the demanding, high-stakes crucible of professional musical theater. Taking on the title role in the original production of, she faced the ultimate test of her endurance and skill. This was no longer about the safety of a 3-minute internet cover. It was a 2-hour marathon of live, high-intensity storytelling. Her performance in was a revelation that shattered any remaining labels of her being merely a YouTube sensation. She proved herself to be a trained dramatic storyteller, capable of anchoring a massive theatrical production with both her voice and her emotional presence. This transition was her manifesto, a clear signal to the world that she had found her own unique dramatic voice and had moved definitively beyond the shadow of interpreting the work of those who came before her. By the dawn of 2026, the metamorphosis of Lucy Thomas was no longer a matter of potential. It was a completed masterpiece. Her latest studio offering, the album Portrait, was immediately hailed by critics and scholars alike as her magnum opus. This was not just a collection of songs. It was a sprawling, cinematic odyssey that seamlessly fused her deep classical roots with the grand, sweeping textures of modern orchestral soundscapes. The album served as the sonic evidence of her evolution, showcasing a range and emotional depth that few contemporary vocalists could hope to match. With the release of this record, the digital ghost of her early career vanished, replaced by a tangible, undeniable icon of the music world. She had successfully transitioned from being a viral curiosity into a permanent pillar of vocal excellence, setting a new gold standard for what it means to be a modern artist who respects the traditions of the past while building the future. The resonance of her voice began to transcend geographic and cultural boundaries with unprecedented force. In 2026, Lucy embarked on a series of international tours that saw prestigious venues across Europe selling out within minutes of tickets being released. But perhaps the most shocking testament to her universal appeal was her massive, groundswell success in markets like Japan. In a country that values both technical precision and deep emotional sincerity, Lucy Thomas became a cultural phenomenon. Her ability to connect with audiences who spoke different languages proved that the frequency of her talent was universal. This global expansion was not driven by aggressive corporate marketing, but by the raw, undeniable power of her live performances. Fans traveled across borders just to hear the clarity of her tone in person, turning her concerts into communal experiences that celebrated the sheer beauty of the human voice in its most refined and polished form. Perhaps the most subversive and compelling aspect of Lucy's rise is the structural foundation of her success. She managed to achieve a staggering level of global impact, including sold-out world tour and platinum-selling albums, without ever surrendering to the machinery of the Big Three, American record labels. In an industry where major corporations typically dictate an artist's image, sound, and trajectory, Lucy and Cavendish Records maintained absolute artistic control. Her story is a triumphant testament to the power of a fan-driven enterprise. By prioritizing the relationship with her audience over the approval of industry gatekeepers, she proved that a sustainable, world-class career can be built on a foundation of independence. This model of success has become a beacon of hope for independent artists everywhere, demonstrating that compromising one's vision is not a prerequisite for reaching the pinnacle of the global music industry. In an era dominated by digital pitch correction, heavy synthesizers, and the ubiquitous safety net of backing tracks, Lucy Thomas remains a powerful and necessary anomaly. Her live performances are in raw, unadulterated vocal skill. The rigorous demands of a world touring schedule are immense, placing a constant physical and mental strain on any performer, yet she refuses to cut corners. There is an immense pressure to deliver a flawless performance every single night, and Lucy meets this challenge with a discipline that borders on the athletic. Each note is a testament to her training, delivered with a clarity and precision that requires no electronic enhancement. This commitment to real singing has made her a favorite among vocal purists and casual listeners alike. She offers a rare honesty in her craft, ensuring that every person in the audience experiences the genuine vibration of her soul through her vocal cords, unfiltered and true. As the music industry becomes increasingly obsessed with fleeting trends, 15-second viral clips, and disposable short-form content, the enduring legacy of Lucy Thomas is being built on the much firmer ground of sustained excellence. She has resisted the urge to trend in favor of the desire to last. This long-term perspective has allowed her to cultivate a body of work that feels both timely and timeless. By 2026, she has become a symbol of what is possible when talent is matched with patience and integrity. Her career is not a flash in the pan. It is a slow-burning fire that has grown into a brilliant sun. She represents a return to the era of the great vocalist, where the quality of the voice is the primary attraction. In a world that often prizes style over substance, Lucy Thomas has proven that substance is the only thing that truly survives the passage of time, cementing her status as a definitive talent of the 21st century. Looking toward the future from the vantage point of 2026, the status of Lucy Thomas is no longer up for debate. It is absolute. She has transcended the labels of her past, moving far beyond the title of a former child star or a YouTube singer to become one of the definitive vocal talents of the modern era. Her journey from a quiet girl in Lancaster to a world-class icon is a narrative of triumph over skepticism and art over artifice. She has become the gold standard, the benchmark against which new vocalists are measured. As she continues to evolve, her influence ripples through the industry, encouraging a new generation to value craft, privacy, and authenticity. Lucy Thomas has not only conquered the world of music, she has done so on her own terms, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of millions. Her voice remains a beacon of purity in a noisy world, a reminder that true greatness does not need to scream to be heard by the entire planet.